mind MMOs, but an MMO game like this, um, the BDO game, okay, let's just get one thing straight here. I have it on the background, but I'm gonna be perfectly honest. If anybody who has not bought this game, I suggest you don't buy it because first off, the bosses have way too many hit points. As you can tell, I got like one ranger that's level 53. I got the game with this pre-order. Um, on top of it, a lot of the game is a good game. Don't get me wrong, but the money you spend in it should be going to something else. Um, Normally, I don't really do this sort of thing on YouTube, and I haven't been on YouTube for quite a while. I want to put out there that by far that BDO is not the game worth buying. I can tell you right off the bat. Look, I'm happy they got the this Dark Knight class, but in truth, even like the Cyclops for this mission is pointless. I mean, the hit points are way, way, way high, and I'm doing a substantial amount of damage. Um, I see a lot of flaws. I mean, there's some YouTubers out there who actually had covered this, similar footages of the game not really being a worth the time and effort to put in. There's really no end boss. I'll be perfectly honest, I was a little disappointed in the boss battle. When you had to fight the boss in the story mode, I was a little disappointed in that. The continual long grinding of the game, which really to me, it gets boring after a while. I mean, I have a level 53 ranger. I pretty much stopped playing, I stopped using her. And people saying that this is supposed to be like an MMO, but you're practically soloing about 90% of the time of this game, which it's not enjoyable. If you don't have any friends, I don't have friends who are playing it, and it's really not enjoyable. It's kind of like you go into a trip to the dentist and having your wisdom teeth pulled out or some shit. And what I find very disheartening about these sort of games, this one in general, look, I gotta give some commemoration for the good layout, the good graphics. But in truth, it's really not worth the money. It's not worth the time. I'm usually more of a Warframe player, pretty much. The reason why I play this game is because I got tired of Warframe. But as far as like the actual game, the quality of this game is not bad, but it's not worth the time. I mean, well, doing this all over again, it's kind of getting fucking boring. And I hate to say this, they gotta like change out something. They gotta fix something where, I mean, you can't just make the levels harder and harder and harder, or the quests harder and harder and harder, because now you just kind of waste your time. And I feel that when I'm sitting here with my Dark Knight, I got 3 of my pets out, just kind of like just saying it how it is. I mean, my gear's not that good. I really don't have a clan or guild that really helps, which it's making this game more and more pointless. I'll be perfectly honest, I was in a guild prior to this when the game had released. I'm not going to say exactly what guild it was, but the truth of the matter is I got kicked out of this guild for no apparent reason. There was nothing good about it. Pretty much like the player base in general is primarily toxic. Regardless of what you're seeing right now in the chat, but now it's getting to the point, now the majority of people are just starting to get tired of the game. They're tired of the continual grinding. I myself am getting tired of the continual grinding, and this is going to be another repeat of Terra. I actually did play Terra way back when, and in a hindsight of things, in truth, BDO is not the game, and for me, I like MMOs, don't get me wrong, but I think this one, they need to really rework a majority of things. I mean, like, for 2 nights in a row, they had a conquest, war conquest, which I kind of want to do some of the missions, but then when they do that, they lock you out. They pretty much don't give you the mobs to farm, anything. As you can tell, this is like a game that's play to win, or pay to win. I'm sorry, not play to win, pay to win. And for a pay to win game, there's some exploitation, which I will be perfectly honest about. I mean, let's go to this pearl shop right here. Now, okay, I already have only 2 characters. I'm not really big on a game that's a continual grind. I mean, Warframe I can stomach, because Warframe I've actually played that more often than I care to imagine. But I will not use my channel on Twitch to promote this type of thing. Promote this type of broadcasting I'm doing. I normally don't come on and do something like this on YouTube unless if I really have to express my opinion about how bad. I mean, I like the artwork, don't get me wrong. I like the way how they did the character up. Pretty much the character's up. But the Dark Knight is more of a tank character, and what sucks about the game is that even if you have friends, I mean, let's face it, and I'm going to show you the God's honest truth here. I mean, a lot of like the foraging, the cooking, I mean, this is kind of like the same shit you do pretty much in Warframe, and or maybe Terra. I mean, come on, let's think about this here for a second. This is kind of like almost a recycled version of Terra, if not worse. I mean, I hate to say it, but if some of you fanboys who think that this game is awesome, hey, that's on your own opinion. I mean, we all know exactly what happened to Anthem there, didn't we? Some of those hardcore Anthem fanboys who really loved Anthem, but this is going to go eventually the way that had happened with Terra. And you watch, give it time. You're not going to get up to level 100 in this game. It's not going to happen. Trust me, at some point they're going to be doing some serious maintenance work. I hope they do, because I truly think that Pearl Abyss, and I hate to say this, but Pearl Abyss did okay with the game, but for the love of God, if anybody who's new, don't subjugate yourself to this game as much as I am right now. I'm about to, pretty much stop playing this game. Do not subjugate yourself. If you're a new player, you're not going to like it, because about 90% of the time, you're going to be solo XPing by yourself. Don't even, for the love of God, get into a guild, because if some of you are casual, this is not the game. I mean, for me, I was like, okay, maybe just try it out. I mean, I'm more of a casual player. I'm not competitive. I don't believe in PvP. I think PvP, to me, in this game, is kind of like the utmost trashiest thing I've ever seen. It's not fully perfected. There's a lot of other minor bugs and glitches into the game, like certain quests you couldn't fix. I mean, okay, they did a patch note. Okay, fine. They want to do the work. They want to patch up the game to make it run better, but the truth of the matter is, the patchwork to it still needs some improvement. There's some things, I mean, like, even I had to adjust the gamma, and even then the texturing is so bad. I mean, look at this. I'll be perfectly honest, there's a flaw in this game about this. So you're looking at the trees over here, right? Okay. Well, look at their chat, okay? Think about this. When was the last time you saw a chat like this was EverQuest Online Adventures? Now, some of you who are a huge EverQuest fan, as much as I was, this is the same shit they use. The same bullshit chat setup. They copied this concept from the EverQuest series, which, for me, is kind of like, the number one bite off. Number two, Um, I mean, think about this. You use, okay, get this shit. You use a potion. Okay, regardless if you're in a boss fight or not, there's that slow delay. The other choppy bullshit thing that they also do is now, here, let me go up to the orb and I will show you. Now, you get to the orb that's like kinda over here, this one, when you summon the boss, then you're gonna have that very slow, choppy, and clunky feeling of your character just moving, like, very slowly. The boss is showing up, and it's like you're not really jumping into the fight. You know, it's not this game. Whatever, God knows the reason why Pro Abyss would actually do this sort of thing, where, oh, it's a wonderful idea. It's a wonderful idea to jack up the hit points. You can't make a fucking thing in some of these monsters. I mean, the biggest joke and the biggest FU that can ever happen to anybody. I actually had to stop at level 3 because I knew exactly how bad this game was getting. Now, the personal honesty of things, I mean, it's just the way it is. This game, it's pretty lackluster. I mean, to me, I find it very lackluster at best. The texturing, I mean, some things you'll see some high and low marks. Okay, if it's common, it's supposed to give like an environmental feel. But the truth of the matter is, it's not very appealing. I mean, as far as like I'm telling you from the horse's mouth, I mean, Warframe has better graphics, it's got better layout. This is kind of like almost a cross thing of the EverQuest and PS2 version and some other game that they probably could have copied it from. And I think regardless of they quote-unquote saying remaster, I mean, this is far... Look, I understand this is the early stages. I know they're behind Xbox. I know they're behind PC. But if you really want the truth, they need to be making these missions not... They shouldn't keep raising the bars up on these missions to get harder and harder, only to find out you got a big disappointment coming up your way. Pretty much, I don't like bashing on a video game, but I also think that some things that need to be fixed. No reason and no business to have bosses with so much freaking hit points or high armor, especially if you're at level 50 or 51. There's no indication about the bosses or these kind of field bosses of the levels that you need to fight. For an example, this, whatever mission this is, unaccepted, right? Well, there's no, here's the fault, actually the fault of this whole thing, and this is why I'm telling you not to waste your money, because a lot of this stuff is very poorly explained. Now, I know in Warframe things are not as well explained as they should. I mean, this is where it's going to happen. I've seen new people come and go. I've seen new people just really, get sick of playing this game. It's really not the best game. I mean, if you look at this guy here who's in a warrior class. Now, here's the thing that irks me. Now, I'm going to show you exactly why I have a hard time beating this fucking thing. And this is what pisses me off to the end, where I defeat every boss with my Dark Knight. Now, it doesn't matter how many times you do it. Like, if you look at this guy right here, right? Now, even for him being a tank, how much damage do you think he's really gonna do? Now, let's just watch and observe. I mean, it doesn't look like he's doing very much damage at all, now does he? Now, this is what I mean, like, certain things, like, even like if you're at level 50 or 51 and you want to do these missions to complete this like never-ending bullshit story mod, I mean, even like this guy's starting to like, I've done the same thing, and it's unnecessary bullshit. You know, even like if he does this little Cyclops attack thing, even here, if you look at the tank guy, you can see exactly he's gotten sick of doing this shit. So now, how many people are really gonna finish this? Is something like this that necessary? Is it something like this that needs to be done? I mean, look at that shit. I mean, that other warrior can't do shit to this guy. This is ridiculous, you know? I mean, I won't even. I've done it, but it doesn't matter how good you are as a Dark Knight, you're just gonna have problems killing him. Okay, so I was wrong about the BD Dynasty. So this dude here, this salty. Even if you block, I mean, look at this shit. I've done like practically every move with my Dark Knight and I still can't do shit with it. It'd be amazing if that one goes down. Doing the same thing I was doing, the same problem. This is really unnecessary. Like, they gotta tone this shit down. I mean, for all this, I don't know what you people were thinking, but I think this poor Dark Knight came and do shit to him. And what's really just as bad is you were limited to exactly how much you can level up your weapon. But anyways, I'm not gonna stay and watch the rest of this cringe fest. I'm gonna call it good here. I'm gonna just leave a short message that I think Pro Abyss needs to fix this shit where it makes it fun and enjoyable for everybody else, and not make everybody else get fucking rage quit and decide to leave the game. Like I said, know before you buy, see what you're seeing, and if you decide to, do not waste your time with this game. Until then, here's your girl Michelle. I'm gonna say peace, love, and happiness. And I'm getting the fuck off this game because it's like I'm cringing looking at this shit. Bye for now.